G'day YouTubers, welcome back. We've had a bit of a reconfigure in the shed. I need to get some proper no arcs for the input for the solar, but that's okay for now. I'm also going to get some DC solar cable so we can tidy this up. Decided we're going to keep this kind of system going on, so that's necessary to tidy it up. So basically what we've got going on, I'm going to move the gel pack from down there to over here. Get rid of all this shit in here. Gel pack down there. This Mppt, TriStar Mppt 45 amp is working beautiful. Just me clamp meter. So these two big cables are the outlets. That 40 amps. So we're ripping tons and tons of energy out of the sun. It's at 12 volts, that is. Just pulling it down as quick as it ever has. I used to only have one of these 30 amp PWMs there. Don't get me wrong, awesome PWM, that's worked really hard. Pulled like over 100 kilowatt hours through that one. But yeah, it would current limit that 30 amps and just sit there pinned at 30 amps. It couldn't process anymore, and then it'd get a bit warm, and then if it got warm at the same time as having 30 amps, it'd trim the current coming to the battery pack back off that. So the way this one's currently configured, we've got these two come over to this big sealed 120 amp OGM, which is still good for about 460 CCA. Last time I tested it after it sat for a week or two. They both then go into this 2,500 watt power inverter, which we have to repair the fans on. It's running the pool pump at the moment, and the fans aren't running, so there's something gone wrong with that. To the gel pack down here. So this is joined to the gel pack, this is joined to that pack is joined to the solar controller. It's not ideal conditions, but I need to buy some cable, I need to buy some crimps and reconfigure it, or buy a better inverter, and I want all of these gel batteries over this side along this wall. Probably stacked in a frame. I really wish I had been able to get a frame with these, but anyway, long story short, that's what's going on. We're getting a happy 40 amps out of this beast. So pump's pulling about 450 watts at the moment. I'm sitting at 12.9. Look at the voltage go up, I just unplugged it. The voltage will race up and top these batteries off. As you can see, the current kind of starts to decline as the load drops off. So it's going really well. It's been in there like 3 or 4 days now. Get a little bit of temperature on it. It's heatsink's certainly necessary. Those cables coming in are doing a good job. And the white crappy ones coming in are doing a good job as well. So there's nothing wrong with this controller, which is what we needed to test before we did anything more, because I didn't know the state of it, whether it was any good, whether it was old and dead and whatever. You did see the condition of it probably if you've seen the first video I made about it. It's a 45 amp and it was sitting there pinned on 40 beautiful. So it's exactly what we're after. The panels are wired in parallel, so there's 3 panels that come down off these 2 feeds here. One has its own and the other has 2. That's why I've got 2 breakers, but they haven't tripped yet, so that's cool. They don't get hot either. There's 3 265 watt panels straight up above us. The other side's got a couple of 250s as well, which are, the 2 sides are bonded in the shed, so it's a bit rough. It works. We're good for 1.3 kilowatt of solar, whatever. So now that we've got that, we need to get a battery bank down here. I need to get all that happening before winter comes, because winter's gonna put a big dent in our solar recovery, so we're going to really need the storage to be sorted at in optimal conditions so we can get the most power out of it. That AGM's not taking all of that 40 amps of charge by itself. You probably find that that's spent most of its time topped off and full, and the gel pack at the bottom's doing all of the receiving. And yeah, so we're going to make some bus bars. We've got some flat strap material there to make bus bars, but we will have, so that each one of those rows is 12 volts. So the row's going that way. 12 volts at 240 amp hour. It's about 1,000 amp hour there, and I've got another 1,000 amp hour outside the shed. I'm about 2,000 amp hour at 12 volts, and another 100 there. Before we add any other batteries to the system, so should be good for some juice. Thanks heaps for watching. We'll get them all together, and we'll get a decent inverter with an output on it, and we'll see what we can actually physically drain out of them in one sitting, kind of thing, with no power feeding in them. But thought I'd give you an update and let you know that this is still alive. It's a goer, and it's doing its thing. It doesn't have an output loop like these and these do. I needed that for my lapper, so I can film on the messy pull everything apart desk. Thanks heaps for watching. Subscribe for more videos. Catch us on the next video. Cheers, guys.